What up, random rockers? Pacific Rim Uprising. Well, I just. I mean, the sequel to a pretty solid Guillermo del Toro film. Hell, my one buddy, I'd seen it with a couple buddies of mine. One of them was a little more excited about it. I mean, he knew it wasn't going to be much of anything, but he didn't expect it to be, I guess, that level of bad. He felt like he knew it was going to be bad the moment they started getting more involved with the recruits and stuff. But me, I knew it once the twist with Charlie Day's character comes into play. Now, I almost feel like that twist could have been better handled if it were in Guillermo del Toro's hands. Because this film is not directed by Guillermo del Toro. For he was busy with The Shape of Water, and he's been winning awards from it, such and such as it is with films of that caliber. But yeah, John Boyega, the action scene, to a degree, the action scenes, the tonally, it's a little bit more, knows what it is. It knows that it's the Jaeger versus Kaiju thing, the whole homage to mech anime and the old Kaiju films of the olden days and whatnot, and then everything all of us loved about Power Rangers that got us into that kind of stuff in the first place. And speaking of which, Power Rangers is a far better film than this. But that's the worst thing I could say. Say in short, the longest thing I could say short. Say sort in the best aspect, it's still far superior than anything Transformers did, even though there will be some Transformers comparisons even to something of what I've heard of The Last Knight. But not to the extent of the level of ridiculousness that it comes from that. And it sucks because this is a TV director who's doing this, though. But of the guy who did, I think, season 2 of Daredevil or something. I've yet to even see season 2 of Daredevil, or even finished season 1 for that matter. I don't have Netflix, so it's hard for me to do that. So, but yeah, I'm just bummed, man. I am just so bummed that this wasn't as much fun as I was at least slightly led to believe in the parts that I wanted it to be fun for, but it just comes off kind of bland and predictable, and not in the fun way that you want it to be. And then it's more the fact that the story itself is just there, and it just bogs it down. It doesn't start off that way. It starts off fine, and then, or at least decently, and then when they finally get to that certain point, it just, and you know what, all in all, I'd say you're better off for this film, unless you're planning on seeing it to give it the 3D theater experience in terms of the action scenes. Other than that, you're better off just doing so via matinee price, at least. Do it that way, and if you're going to see it in 3D, but if not, just wait. If you have something to where you could see this in 3D and still get the same experience and you're in your own home theater, wait to just rent it. It's really kind of, to go from a film that really rocked all the way with the first Pacific Rim to Uprising here, which is a bit of a thumbs down. And if they just fixed the story just a tad bit, or at least fleshed it out a little bit better, in a way that, could get us, like what Guillermo del Toro did in getting us through that, make us somewhat invested in what these characters are, enough to get us to the parts that we cared about. And that's the issue with this film. And I hope that they fix this later on. If they decide to do what they did. And just, you know what? Now I'm going to have to get spoilers. I'm just, hats off. Charlie Day, his character. The first thing that made me kind of like question this is the moment you see him, the wife that he talked about was really him basically just through one of the precursors brains linking up to it the whole time. You just basically got addicted to it, and to the point where the kaiju themselves basically corrupted his brain, and big twist, he turns out to be the bad guy. So those scenes you see of him going, that's what I'm talking about, he's not cheering for our side. He's cheering for the kaiju and shit. It was just, and they do something interesting with the kaiju thing, but man, overall, I just couldn't get into this movie. I just couldn't get into this in the way that I could with the first one. I mean, it's totally different, and in some places it works, even when before the twist, when it's him, Charlie Day's character, and the other dude's character or whatever, like in the first film, it fits better here than that. Some things, it knows it's goofy, it goes along with it, and you're just kind of along for the ride, but the way they handle it, and some of the story beats, and the way they handle the screenplay and story of this thing is just, if Guillermo del Toro just had a little bit more say in this film, or even bothered to direct the film, add some of his touch to it, just a little bit of that, it, in terms of at least the story elements and beats, it could have been a better film. And it could have, even some parts could have been handled better. I just wish it was worth seeing. It bums me that it's not as good. I'm hoping at least Ready Player One will do something for me that I wished I could have gotten a little bit out of with this film to an extent. It's not, I wasn't expecting to put this on, necessarily put this in the best of the year list, but I wasn't expecting to say that I may put this on the worst part of my year-end list, But, jeez. I don't know what to say. I mean, I had fun to some extent, but it just didn't hit me. And maybe it's because I should have seen this in 3D. Because this is not meant for a 2D experience. And that was the big issue with this. With the decision to watch this in 2D. Because that's not how you review this movie. You view this in 3D. And those parts might have been better. If I had. And that's not what happened. And then all of a sudden he turns the bad guy, and it says he's been corrupted for Charlie Day's character, and then we get this stupid snowball fight for an ending after they just defeated it. It's short, but it feels longer than it should be. And then we get this thing that Independence Day Resurgence kind of did, but did honestly better. And just kind of snowballing and shoving a sequel in there. It's almost like the snowball fight scene was meant for that. But clearly the thing is, this film is PG-13. It's not rated R. As some would have you believe, but that's kind of part of the reason why I feel like this film's suffering the most, because it doesn't, if it had just stuck with that same rated R feel that the first film had, it might have done better. You could still have this color palette, but if they had just had it rated, just gave it a little bit more something something to it. And, you know, that certain visual aesthetic that, you know, Guillermo del Toro has with his films, that would have made it, some of the things that we'd like to have seen at least in this film, a little bit better. And just, if they do a third film, just bring Guillermo del Toro back, finish this off, and give us something worthwhile to end, at least end all of this. At the very least, just do that. Nothing more. They could have done something more, but you could tell the way the script was done. They kind of had so many ideas, but they all moshed together, and it just didn't come together all as well as it should have. And if Guillermo del Toro had, that's the thing. Guillermo del Toro is so missing in this film. His stamp is missing, so much so, and it's just in such a way that it just hurts this film. And I just. And if it sucks that the guy who's directing this, I'm sorry if I butchered your name, but I know you directed maybe, I think, season 2 of Daredevil, amongst some other TV shows that I'm told people actually really did dig. And it's a shame that, and this, you could tell this is his debut, because he's trying to do what he can with this film, with what he's been given, and even everyone involved who's been given the scripts that have been given, their dialogues just suck. Mostly. They're just kind of like, eye rolling in the back of your head kind of stuff. But they do what they can. John Boyega tries. And so does... I guess this, you could tell, at least Scott Eastwood tries a little bit more here, compared to like Suicide Squad or whatever. But he's just not given anything to help him with, you know? And at least you try. There's a decent supporting cast here. It's just, I wish they would have given. It's great. It's great. The fights are as good as as you hoped they would be, I guess. For what you were going into, but it doesn't. It's still just. But everything else just finds a way to bog all that down, all those things that are good down, and just make it feel like this movie is shit. When it isn't necessarily the case. It was really shit. It'd be just as bad as Transformers, but it's not. If anything, it's maybe just a tier under. Maybe a tier under what Power Rangers was last year. Literally a year ago. And it just doesn't even hold up to even that. I'm just bummed, man. That I kind of wanted to enjoy this, and I couldn't, man. It's not worth going to the theater unless you have to see it in a 3D setting. Then just go to a matinee. Save yourself some, if it's 3D. Make sure it's 3D and a matinee, and just save yourself some money. Or at least do it 3D and with a movie pass or something. And then if not, wait till, if you're not that excited about it, just wait till it comes out for DVD or Blu-ray or download, whatever, rental. Netflix, blah, 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 and so on and so forth. What did you guys think of Pacific Rim Uprising, if you even bothered to watch it? Leave a comment below, let me know. Rock that like button on this video, the thrust if you must, if you did like the video. As always, guys, keep it random, keep it real, keep it rocking. Also, check out my Facebook page while you're at it, which is also in the description, link in the description box below. And yeah, that's it. I'll guess. Once again, keep it random, keep it real, keep it rockin', and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care, y'all.